Good morning, everybody. Now, I want to talk about something, talk about this immigration situation here. Now, some of you might notice there's a greenhouse behind me. So I'm on our homestead here. I want to thank the USDA for the grant that gave me that huge greenhouse behind me. And it cost over $5,000, and the USDA paid for it, okay? And my wife homeschools, and she and my children, I have back issues and all that, but I can't farm like I used to or garden like I used to. But my wife and children are going to be doing a whole lot of the work themselves, okay? And let me tell you something. We have fruit trees. We have fruit trees beyond. We stopped counting how many fruit trees we planted. And what's the point I'm making here? There are many families like us who have these mini homesteads or larger farms, and we do all the work. We do all the labor ourselves, okay? But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this immigration crisis. First of all, I want to tell you, Pablo, the immigrant who's being sent back to his country, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay because many of them, they've been in this country for a long time, and they've been smart. They've been sending money back to Guatemala, Mexico, and other places. And like the 18-year-old guy from Mexico, he's 18 and he has a house in Mexico paid off already. That's right. He said his grandfather has been building him a house in Mexico. It's completed and it's paid off. Okay? This is not, right off the back, I'm not knocking immigrants. I love them. And America has benefited from them. And unfortunately, because of our hatred, we're getting rid of them. But guess what? They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Many of them, they're going to be okay. But will you be okay without them? That's the point. Will you be okay without them? Let me tell you who's really going to suffer. This is not about immigration. This is not about immigration. This is about the destruction of the American middle class. The rich oligarchs and the bankers, the billionaire bankers, and the billionaire puppets in office who do the bidding of the elite oligarchs. Okay, they function better in a society where the middle class is destroyed and where you have a wealthy, extremely wealthy upper class and you have the poor. All throughout human history, they prefer it that way. They're threatened. There are many reasons why they're threatened by a successful middle class. And I don't have time to go into that. You can do your own research. But dictators, despots, and such men, they function better in such a society. Okay? You can read the history of the French Revolution and see the results of that. Okay? But so let me tell you something. This is not about immigration. This is about the destruction of the American middle class. And as a result, there's going to be the destruction mostly of middle class white families. This is why I say that. So, for example, we purchased some fruit trees before we went down to Georgia to this nursery called Ison's Nursery in Georgia. Okay? You're up front, you walk in and there's some white people and I don't say this in a derogatory way because my father's white. You walk in and there's white people who own the business and some of their employees. They do all the desk work, the administrative work. They take your money and take your order and all that. But when you go in the back to pick up your trees, to load it on your trailer, all the labor is done by Guatemalans and Mexican immigrants. Okay, all the labor. You may see one or two white guys back there, but the forklift driver, the packer, everything is done by immigrants. Same thing, biscuits, carpet tiles, and around near Dalton, Georgia. Okay, we went down there with our trailer to get a pallet load of carpet tiles, and you walk in and there's a few white people, but in the back, all the work, including the guy loading your pallet on your trailer, all the work is done by Guatemalans, mostly at that operation. And I don't think there are any Mexicans there. I think they were all Guatemalans. And we talked to them. I love immigrants. Let me tell you something. I came here as an immigrant at age 15. And I served this country in 4 war zones. 4 war zones. Iraq, Bosnia, Liberia, and Somalia. Okay, we also did operations in Croatia. Okay, but I served this country in various war zones. I got my honorable discharge. Okay, I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen. And I thank God for this country. And there are many like us who come here and who serve this country, who work hard and build up the wealth of America. And so let me tell you something. I thank God for all the hardworking immigrants of all skin color, including white people, who come to this country and make it a better place. Now, let me tell you something. So you go into these businesses, like the landscaping business, you'll see a few white people in the office, but all the trucks that go out to take care of the landscaping contracts are Guatemalan, Mexican. You take a look at the building contractors. One of our friends, she has a son. He came over. He's 17. He came over one day to our house, and he's working with some Mennonites, teaching him how to do flooring and all that. And he's getting some really good experience. And he said that one of the white Mennonite guys gave him some advice. He said, "Look here, go get your contractor's license, and then you can hire some immigrants, and you can make a whole lot of money." Okay, so you're building contractors, okay, who get these contracts for roofing, flooring, or building the whole house, okay? They get the contracts, but when the trucks come out to do the work, there goes Pablo and the crew. They're going to do the drywall, they're going to do the roofing and all that, right? But there's a white man making all the money in the office, okay? And some of these companies are black owned also. Some of these contractors are black and they depend on immigrant labor. But the vast majority of them are white business owners, your landscapers, your contractors, like Ison's Nursery or Biscuits Carpet Tiles, not to mention the families. The families who own farms, the farmers. You go through, for example, South Georgia, Tifton, and those places. All the watermelon, all that, all the cabbage and lettuce and kale and all that produce. White owned. You go there and you see a few white people, and the whole operation is done by immigrant labor. Okay? Pablo's going to be okay. Because when Pablo's going to go back to his country, and he's been sending all his money home, and he's got a house paid off, let me tell you something. And he's got sour sop and mango and lychee and all that stuff growing in the backyard. He's going to be okay, but will you be okay? Will you be okay when they send him back? When they send her back? When they send them back? Okay? So this is about the destruction of the middle class in America, mostly the white middle class families. Unfortunately, many of them, and I'm not political because I'm not on any Democrat or Republican bandwagon, but let me tell you something. Imagine the person you vote for is the one who's going to destroy your future wealth and the future wealth possibilities of your children and grandchildren. A person himself who made money in one way or another off of immigrant labor. But he doesn't really care about you. All he cares about really is other billionaires, billionaire bankers. You see the documentary, The Money Changers? Look that up. The Money Changers. There's a documentary, The Money Changers, and there's another one called Banking and the Federal Reserve. Okay, money, banking, and the Federal Reserve. Okay, it's the Federal Reserve System that really is making all the money. Okay, and these billionaire politicians, they're puppets to the Federal Reserve System that is enslaving America. If you really want to know what's really going on, look at the documentary, The Money Masters. And I'll include the links in the comment. But let's wake up. Let's be real. The mom and pop businesses, farms, contracting businesses, farmers, are tiles, carpet, all these mom and pop businesses, they're the ones that are being destroyed. They're the ones that are going to be affected the most by the loss of immigrant labor. The immigrants will be okay because they'll go back to their country, and other intelligent, smart people from other countries will recruit them to come and work. Okay? But if we think that America is going to benefit from getting rid of immigrants, we really don't understand. We really don't have a clue. We're about to suffer in this country because of what's going on. And the people who are going to suffer the most are middle-class white individuals and families who own these businesses that depend on immigrant labor. Goodbye.